Hi, my name is Czaplicki, and this is my week one reflection. I decided to create a slideshow and then do a screencast. My slideshow is going to be something I'm just going to keep adding on to every week. And then at the end, I'll have a full slideshow of my whole experience and just can kind of be my journey through this class. And I could use it and edit it to show for some sort of professional development down the road. I could also use it in my college course that I teach when I discuss mindfulness and go over that. So here we go. So my week one plan was to do some deep breathing exercises, and that would be about a half hour out of the whole week. I think I probably did more than that though. My mindful eating practices, I was going to try to do that with at least one meal or snack, and that would also end up being about a half hour. I was going to take at least one long mindful walk/run, and generally the course I take, it's about an hour till I get back to my house. And then my guided meditations were the rest of the time, and I was going to do them 2 nights for 1 hour, but I ended up doing it more than that. So mindful breathing, other than doing like workshops on mindfulness and yoga, meditation, things like that I've been to, more like intro type of things, I never really got into any breathing exercises, although I've read a lot of articles about the importance of it. So I really wanted to keep it simple because I knew my toddlers wouldn't leave me alone, and that a lot of times I would probably be doing this with 2 crazy kids running all around. So I decided to do it in the morning. Even if I couldn't be alone, I would do it like during a downtime. So I found myself doing this a lot during Dora because my kids really like Dora, and it gave me that time. Or when we were outside playing in the morning, I would usually take them outside, and it really did help energize me for the day. I really just need to keep it simple, so I just tried to relax, and I focused on each aspect of my breath. And from a workshop that I had been to previously, the exhale was a big, important component, just getting every ounce of that breath out. And that felt really good. And so that was something that I tried to be thinking of while I was doing it. And sometimes I would get distracted because kids were doing something, and I would try to make sure that I got back to it. And I found myself, as the week went on, kind of using it as my reset button. So if I was driving in the car and I had a moment to myself, I would find myself going through the breathing exercises. So it's something that I think I'm going to keep doing and try to add it more into my day. All right. So mindful eating, this one stood out to me because I literally don't taste food, like up until all this. I guess at many points in my life I did. But having 4 kids and being a teacher, and I could give you the laundry list of other roles that I have taken on in my life, I am on the go all the time or just eating little bits here and there, and I'm really not enjoying it. And I actually have lost weight because I don't actually think I'm getting enough nutrition. So also what kind of stood out to me was that I am kind of a wino. Like, I love wine. I've been kind of really into going to wine tasting sessions and learning about that over the past few years. So being mindful when I am doing my wine tasting is something that I already kind of was aware of, like smelling the wine and, all of that. So I thought, well, I know I can do it because I do it with wine. So I'm going to try to do this with my food. And right when I did it, the first time I did it, immediately I was amazed just by smelling the food, taking my time, figuring out the texture, trying to identify different flavors. I really enjoyed the food that I was eating. I slowed down the eating so I could really savor the food because I was enjoying it. I had to make sure that, if I was going to do this, it was a time where I was going to be able to have enough time to do it. I preferred to do it alone in silence. And I could actually taste and enjoy my food. Now, the downside to that is I'm actually like eating more, which is good, but I'm kind of wondering how that's going to correlate with my weight and my nutrition, because I'm just like actually hungry again and want to eat food. So I kind of think I need to switch my mindfulness to not only the senses, but also the why and the when and what I'm eating, because I'm not necessarily making the best choices. Today, I savored and mindfully ate a donut, and it was amazing, but I didn't really need that donut. So I need to address those issues now, because I never really had a problem with it, because I just didn't really care about eating. So anyway, I solved one problem, but now I have another. Oh, guided meditations. So a few years ago, I just had a mazillion things going on in my life, some trauma and family problems. And so really, this was what got me through it. Somehow, to just clear my mind, I started investigating meditations, and guided meditations were great for me because I didn't know what I was doing. And so listening to somebody guide me through it was extremely helpful. And after listening to a bunch of different ones, and I shared this with a lot of you, my favorite was Deepak Chopra, and he just hypnotizes me, basically. His voice goes on and I am tuning out the world. So I read a bunch of posts and, tried to look through what everybody else was doing. And those of you that were doing meditations, also talked about the Tara Brach. I don't know if I'm saying it wrong. And I did try her. Actually, last night I put her on. But the one that I picked didn't have any music in the background. And at nighttime, I really enjoy having that soothing ambient music. It just kind of helps me clear my mind. So I'm not totally gonna what I started was great, so I'm not going to totally rule her out. I'm just going to try to maybe do that as a daytime meditation if I can add that later in my life. I do complete this at night before bedtime, and I usually have 1,000 things going on, and I have a history of insomnia and just restlessness at night, and this has really helped me. But I was been inconsistent probably the past 6 months, so it was really awesome to bring it back, especially with the week that I had. I was very relaxed and focused. I had to do something a little different. I really focused on slowing my breathing and kind of clearing my mind. I don't know if it was the stress of the week, but it did take me a little longer and more effort to kind of get sold into it. And it really helped with my anxiety. I've definitely have had some anger issues in my past. And again, I preferred the music in the background. So it's something that I also want to use to just have some quiet time when my toddlers take a nap, or if I have downtime when school starts, if that ever happens. And the last was mindful walking. So I only had one session of this, and it was today, Sunday. And I had to look more about this because I didn't really know how to approach this mentally, because I am a competitive runner. I've always been that way. So if I'm not racing someone, I'm racing myself. I'm setting distance goals. I'm setting time goals. I'm pushing myself. And I've kind of just been raised with the mindset, no pain, no gain. So I'm used to being in pain and hurting. But with all of the injuries that I've had over the past years, it's just added up. So going for these competitive runs, really, I'm coming back and I'm hurting. I'm taking Tylenol, I'm taking ibuprofen, and I don't feel good. So I've really scaled it back. So this was something that I thought, well, I could run, but I need to get it out of my mind. I may just have to walk, and it's okay. And I need to take the competitiveness out of it. So some things that I learned was, I have to just not be competitive at all when I'm going to do this. I needed to schedule the time to do this. So 2 days ahead of time, I was I'm going for a walk on Sunday for an hour, and worked it out with my husband. If it's unscheduled, it was just not going to happen. And I really focused on my breathing. Originally, I started with my breathing, kind of ended focusing on my breathing, my body, what it was telling me, each step, how it felt, how my posture was, where was my neck. I engaged all my senses, my sights, smells, and sounds. I went over a creek and I was listening to the water. The breeze was in my hair. I went past a farm and I was smelling all of the farm smells, which weren't that pleasant, but I was listening to the animals. I was smelling the mint and different plants that I was walking by. And at one point I had a nice flat stretch, so I did start to run. It was a really comfortable run. I wasn't feeling any pain with it. The only thing, like, I definitely want to keep doing this, but I want to make sure to schedule it and do this weekly. I'd like to do another session, maybe get 2 hours in or 3 in, but I took my phone with me because I want to keep an eye on the time, and ended up, people were calling me. And of course, being the person that I am, I'm kind of the caretaker of my family. I answered the calls. So like, I wasn't totally in my zen the entire hour. So I learned that I need to buy a watch and keep my eye on the time that way. Overall, my week 1 plan was a success. I'm going to keep going with these breathing exercises. I'm definitely going to keep going with my mindful eating. And I find myself actually being mindful every time I eat now. It's just, sometimes I still am eating fast because I literally have to. But I'm going to kind of change a little bit there, and also be mindful of when I'm eating, what I'm eating, why I'm eating, and the emotions involved in it. The walking, again, really successful for me, super enjoyable. I got a good workout, and also I felt really relaxed. And the guided meditations have been working for me. And I think all of these can easily be incorporated in my life. And I wasn't stressed out trying to fit them all in. In fact, it was kind of a godsend because I had a really stressful week. So I really appreciate this opportunity, and I'm going to post this now. And sorry, I'm not giving everybody a lot of time to watch it, but I am now going to see what you guys all did. All right. Thank you. Good luck with week 2.